You know what time it is? It's time to talk about Mortal Kombat Scorpions Revenge, baby. What's up, guys? My name is unCAGEDgamez. Welcome back to another Mortal Kombat video. Today, we're going to be doing, finally, our, not really review, but our honest thoughts on the new Mortal Kombat Scorpions Revenge animated movie by Warner Brothers. First of all, I gotta say thank you to Warner Brothers for giving me an early copy of the movie to watch and review for you guys. You would think because of that, this video would have been out sooner, but man, has it been a crazy month. Thank you to Warner Brothers for providing me a copy of the movie. But don't get it twisted. Just because they gave me an early copy doesn't mean I'm just gonna love everything about this movie, because there are some things in this movie that I will address that I felt like could have been better. So let's talk about Mortal Kombat Scorpions Revenge, my honest thoughts. Also, I should mention that there's no spoilers in this video, so if you guys have not watched it, don't worry, no spoilers. I'll just dance around the subject. Let's get into it. If you guys are excited, drop a thumbs up and let's go. Obviously, let's start with the pros, because the movie is awesome. All right, the movie is what I wanted. I went into the movie with high expectations, and for the most part, it met my expectations. Scorpions Revenge is literally, when I think of a Mortal Kombat story, that's what I think of. There's a tournament, they fight, they save the world. Pretty simple premise. And in the movie, they do that. If I had to compare this movie with something, it would probably be good to compare to the first Mortal Kombat live action movie. I know a lot of people say that movie's trash, but I think it's still pretty good. Guilty pleasure of mine. In this animated movie, they take all the good things from the live action and put it in this movie. If I had to describe this movie, it would be Mortal Kombat 1 live action, combined it with like MKX outfits. And that's not a bad thing. Some people might think it's bad. It's not. I thought it was great. Now, I haven't watched a lot of animated movies recently, but I gotta say the voice acting in this was pretty freaking awesome. I love the voice acting. I never really got detached from the movie, from the voices being bad or anything. Like, I watched it and I was hooked. All the voice actors did great voicing their characters, and no complaints in that department. So when I watched this movie, it felt like a movie. There was no bad, they say something and it doesn't match up with the character. It looked great. It sounded amazing. Animations were on point. My goodness. When the characters fight each other, it was amazing. I think one of my favorite fights in the whole movie, this is not a spoiler because you see it in the trailer, but Sub-Zero and Scorpion fight each other. And when they fight, when they duke it out, oh my God. I don't know how they do it, but shout outs to the animators of the movie. They did a great job. I want to see more of that. There's a lot of fights in this movie, which is good, because when you think of Mortal Kombat, you think of fighting. So the movie should have fighting, and it does. And how are the fights? Amazing. You can't have Mortal Kombat without the gore. And I am happy to say, and also a little disgusted to say, there's a lot of gore in this movie. Like, a lot of gore in this movie. Like, a lot of gore in this movie. The first, 5 minutes of the movie, my goodness, is the bloodbath. I had to pause it for a second. I'm like, dang. But it's good. Mortal Kombat is known for being violent, and they definitely did that. Now, if the new Mortal Kombat live action movie coming out is like this anime movie, but in live action, ooh, I don't know if my stomach can handle all that gore, but you know what? We'll see what happens. This anime movie was pretty good, so hopefully the live action one coming out is also good. Fingers crossed. Now, you guys know that Johnny Cage is my favorite character. How was Johnny Cage in the movie? Was he good? Was he cringe? Was he bad? Let me know. What are you thinking, Cage? Well, I gotta tell you that Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat Scorpions Revenge is good. I liked it. I want to say almost all of his jokes land for the most part. I can't remember a joke that he made that didn't land. Every time he talked, I laughed. Now, that might be because I'm biased to Johnny Cage, but I was trying to be very neutral throughout the whole movie. I laughed a lot, and he was pretty hilarious in the movie. Would I say that he's my favorite character in the movie? Surprisingly, no. My favorite character in this movie is, well, actually, it might not be surprised. It's Scorpion. This movie's called Mortal Kombat Scorpions Revenge, and Scorpion has to be, hands down, my favorite character. He, out of all the characters, actually had like a complete arc. You saw the beginning of Scorpion or Hanzo, you saw the middle, and then we see kind of like where it ends. Scorpion, out of all the characters, has to be my favorite. Johnny was good in the movie, but I'll talk about why he's not my favorite in a little bit. Another pro about the movie is Easter eggs galore. When I was watching the movie, there was references and references, Easter eggs, special cameo from characters. It was pretty amazing. I won't spoil any of that because if you guys watch it, you guys can be surprised and get that cool little, oh my god, I know that, and I know that. There was a lot of cool things. I will say, without spoiling it, there was like Easter eggs to like classic modes in Mortal Kombat. There were certain characters, sayings. I want to see someone make a whole list of the Easter eggs because there were a lot, and I had a blast just going through the movie and just being like, oh yeah, I see you. Yeah, that's awesome. If you guys like Easter eggs, or if you guys are hardcore Mortal Kombat fans, you guys are gonna have a blast with this movie. You guys are gonna see a lot of awesome Easter eggs. All right, I think I gushed on long enough about all the good things about this movie. Let's talk about some cons, because there are some problems I have about this movie. Not a lot, and a lot of these cons are more of nitpicks, but I gotta mention in this video. This is my honest thoughts about this movie. First thing is, I say that the gore is awesome in the movie, but for some strange reason, I feel like the movie had a little bit too much gore. It was like unnecessarily gory. Like, it was so gory that it was like the simplest things. I felt like there shouldn't have been gore there, but they're like, you know what? We have extra blood. Let's just throw it in that one part. I don't know. That was just me. Again, this is a nitpick. It's not like because of this, it's going to subtract a point from my overall rating. It's just like a thought that I would just throw out there. Maybe it's just me. Maybe we want more gore. I don't know. I thought it was a little bit too gory. Again, that's why it's in my pros and cons. I love that there's a lot of gore, but then in the cons, there's like a lot of gore. Like a lot of gore. Before you guys go in the comments, you don't like gore, it's Mortal Kombat. Just thought I would just mention it, all right? A little nitpick. That's it. Next, I felt the movie was kind of short. When the movie ended, I was like, whoa, wait, that's it? I wanted more. Now, don't get me wrong, the overall movie was great. It was a good story, but like they could have added maybe like 30 more minutes to the movie or give us a little bit more. It was very quick. It was one story, one place, another place, another place, and then stories end. And then the movie was over. So I felt like the movie could have been longer. The pacing of the movie, I felt like it was good. But maybe that's because the pacing was so good that the movie just flew. Scorpions Revenge is 1 hour and 20 minutes long. I felt like maybe if it was like near the 2 hour mark, it would be like a perfect amount of Mortal Kombat. But hour 20 minutes, it didn't drag on. I felt like it was very good. But me personally, again, nitpicks, guys, nitpicks, calm down. I can already tell you guys are triggered. I feel like none of us can complain if the movie was longer, unless you guys thought the movie dragged on. I didn't think it dragged on. All right, let's talk about Johnny Cage. I talked about him briefly in the beginning. I love Johnny. His jokes were funny in the movie, but the thing is, in this movie, I don't think they utilize him as much as they should have. Every character in the movie had a special fight or a moment. I will say this, Johnny Cage probably had the least amount of fighting in the movie one-on-one with a character. So in the live action movie, we had Johnny Cage versus like Scorpion. We had him fight a Goro. In this movie, he fights a bunch of other things, but he never really fights one-on-one with anyone in this movie. I will say this, and this might be a spoiler, he kind of just runs away. Liu Kang has a fight. Actually, Liu Kang has a couple of fights. Sonya has a couple of fights. Scorpion has tons of fights. Johnny runs away. I thought because this movie was very, like, similar to the Mortal Kombat 1 live action movie, we would at least see Johnny fight Goro. But spoiler alert, he doesn't fight anybody in the movie. He runs. So I'm hoping that in the next movie, Johnny actually has a one-on-one fight with someone and not run away from his challenge. So that was my biggest complaint about Johnny. If he actually had some fighting on one-on-one with someone, I might have made Johnny a little bit higher on my favorites list. But yeah, Scorpion overall, I felt like his character was the perfect character in this movie. Johnny, his jokes were funny, but he didn't actually have any memorable fights. So that is probably my biggest con about this movie. The superstar didn't shine as much as he should have, but the movie's still great. Again, I need to tell you guys because I know there's gonna be some of you guys, man, you just I love the movie. Just let me talk about my thoughts. Some big characters in this movie died, killed off. I'm not gonna name them, spoilers, but there's some big name characters that die in this movie. I felt like they died off too quick. Maybe they could have made it seem like they died and then they come back. but some important characters die. But then how is other characters going to show up because those characters showed up because that one character was alive, but now that character's dead, so those characters can't show up. Hopefully that made sense. I can't go into too much detail without spoiling it, but yeah, there's a lot of big characters that I'm like, oh shoot, they're in this movie, let's go. And then they die. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe they have a story lined up. I'm pretty sure they do because they set up a sequel real hard in this ending here. It's not like a sequel bait because they do complete the story, but they do have a little end thing that shows what's coming out in the future if they do another one. I hope they do another movie because this movie was awesome. They killed off a good amount of characters. I felt like they got killed off a little bit too early. I don't know what they're gonna do for the next one. There are a lot of characters in the MK universe they can use though, so maybe it won't be that big of a deal, but just thought I would mention it in my little cons list. Again, this movie is so good, but I just didn't want to say, oh yeah, it's perfect, because it's not a perfect movie. I feel like there could have been a little bit of tweaking and a little minor things here and there. Now, what do I want for the sequel of Mortal Kombat Scorpions Revenge? Will we call it Scorpions Revenge? Probably the next one's gonna be called like Mortal Kombat The Liu Kang Story or something. I don't know what they're gonna do with the next one. The next movie, I want same amount of action. I thought the action in this movie was awesome. Johnny to actually have a fight, give the story element of Scorpion to another character, so actually go in depth with the character, just like how they did with Scorpion. Like, you really felt for Scorpion in this whole movie, so I want to see that again with more characters. Not a lot of nitpicks. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 meaning the best, 1 meaning the worst, Mortal Kombat Scorpions Revenge, I would honestly give this movie like an 8. Let's go 8.5. I had expectations for this movie and it met it. I didn't have anything that I noticed about the movie that broke it for me. Just a couple minor things, and the things that I mentioned that were minor, those did not subtract it from being a 10. It's something I just thought I would mention while doing this little thoughts of the movie. It's still a very, very good movie. I give it an 8.5. I hope you guys enjoyed my honest thoughts about Mortal Kombat Scorpions Revenge. When I do these honest thoughts, these are actually my honest thoughts. I don't know why some people are like, oh, they're not your honest thoughts. Shut up! Hope you guys enjoyed my honest thoughts about the Mortal Kombat Scorpions Revenge movie. If you guys enjoyed, drop a thumbs up. And if a lot of you guys like it, I might do a spoiler talk about the movie in a future video. And then we can go all in depth about Scorpions Revenge. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment down below and let me know, what did you guys think about the movie? If you guys did watch it, did you guys like it? Did you guys not like it? What would you guys like to add or see change in the sequel? But if you guys haven't, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell icon so you guys get notified every time we upload a brand new video. Mine is unCAGEDgamez, and you got Cage.
You're feeling bad for me.
No, you were actually, I swear to you, I was not going easy.